So after a year in Belgium, I returned to the States of Victor. Victorious, ready to conquer the world, I bring Melissa back with me. I get a job as a grocery checkout person and also a bank teller within the bank. Then one day I have a dream. I want to open a golf driving range. And the lucky part for me is that the person that owns the grocery store also owned 20 acres of land right next to it. So I talk to him and I say, I would like to start a driving range. We work out a deal. He sells the property to my parents and we're in business. Now, before we actually open, just the thought of the idea, it got a lot of feedback from the locals, right? I remember one person in particular said, don't open this business. This town will not support it. Said, I had an arts and crafts business, and the people sure came out when I was having my going out of business sale. But I warn you, do not open this business. Well, regardless, we didn't follow our head, we followed our heart. We opened that business, and it was so much fun. There was 20 acres, and I remember clearing that land that first day. We spent 2 days mowing and planning where the grass and where the tees were going to go and where the targets were going to be. We spent 2 days knocking the grass down, figuring out where the tees and where the targets and where the building, everything would go. It was so much fun. And when people finally came, we would say, if you build it, they will come. Now, the July 4th parade in this town was our big breakout moment. We had to be memorable. We had to be rememberable. So we had my Chihuahua, Cheech. We decorated our 2 golf carts, and Cheech was on a leash to the side. We thought he'd get some laughs. But all of a sudden, Cheech pulls out front and pulls the leash tight. Now, as we're creeping down the street, to the people on the street, it looks like Cheech is pulling this golf cart with my mom, my dad, Melissa, and me on the back. And they cheered him on. He was like their little miniature Clydesdale. And that moment, he became the mascot for the business. We put a big 4x8 picture of him out at 215 yards. People would say, what is that thing? Is that a Doberman? And I would say, yeah, it's a Doberman. I mean, I said, that's our guard dog, so don't vandalize, don't steal from me. Because, we have the Doberman out there, it's going to come protect me. And that Doberman out there is going to come, harass you. Little did they know it was a 5-pound Chihuahua. But regardless, that's my secret. But life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. So the business, we limped along for a couple years, and as predicted, the business did fail. But the worst part was that I was over eating dinner with my parents. The kitchen door was open, it was a nice day. All of a sudden, Cheech bolts out the door because a German Shepherd came onto the property. Now, it was a quick bark, 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 and the German Shepherd bit down, shook, broke Cheech's back. So I run out there, I grab Cheech up, my little dog from 6th grade, and he's just looking at me helpless. Doesn't know what's going on. So my dad and I, we go to the vet, which was 30 minutes away, and the whole time I'm just holding him, and he's just staring at me, still not knowing what's going on. And I remember the odor. I mean, it was a bad situation. So at the vet, they said the only option is lethal injection. There's nothing they could do. So I just remember rubbing his little head as that plunger was pushed. And it felt like my childhood was over. Again, this was my dog, my first love from 6th grade, and now it's over. But it taught me a lesson. It said if I ever wonder about my influence or my capability on this planet, I think of a 5-pound dog that lived for 10 years. That's it. And that dog, my first love, brought Melissa and I together indirectly. That dog was a mascot to our business. That dog stood guard at the driving range 24 hours a day. And Cheech was able to pull a golf cart full of 4 people down the street during a parade. So if you ever wonder about the power you have or your influence, think of that. A 5-pound dog changed many people's lives.